Hi, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel Annual General Meeting. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody today. My name is Samantha Holloway and I'm the President of the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel. We'll be working through our agenda and a short presentation with you shortly. So we first of all just need to undertake our roll call for our voting Class A members. So if I could ask Julia Bresnay-Harris to undertake the roll call.
Yeah, so Samantha Holloway, President.
Yep, here.
Karen Uzi, President-elect.
Here.
Kim LeBlanc, Treasurer.
Here.
J.S. Shaw, Regional Director, North America. Mary Hill, Regional Director, North America.
Here.
Canada. Ray Samuriu, Regional Director, Europe, United Kingdom.
Yep, I'm here, thank you.
Stephen Smet, Regional Director, Europe. Salvacian Cruz, Regional Director, Middle East. I see Salvacian is on, but I think...
Yeah, in the chat area, we can see, I think. Oh.
Heidi Hu, Regional Director, Asia. Emmy Nokanang, Regional Director, Africa. Pia Mabel Molina Chailen, Regional Director, Latin America, Spanish.
Here.
Thank you. Maria Clara Salomeo E. Silva Guimares, Regional Director, Latin America, Portuguese. Jenny Prentice, Regional Director, Australia.
Present, thank you.
And we also have our...
Sorry. Sorry, the slides have gone strange on me.
Our non-voting members, Dimitri Beekman, Immediate Past President.
Yes, I'm present, thank you.
Catherine Harley, CEO of NSWOC.
I'm present.
And Troy Curtis, Director of Operations for NSWOC.
Present. And I'd just like to note that Jayesh is now present.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julia. Thank you. So Karen, could I ask you to validate that we are quorate?
Yes, we are, Sam. We've got 10 people, so that's fine.
That's fine. So we needed 50% plus 1, didn't we? So we needed 8 and we're 10.
Yes.
So good. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. So I'm going to stop sharing now and just ask Julia if you could share the agenda for the meeting. And we'll motion to, or look at the agenda before we accept and motion to approve. Oh, welcome, Jay.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up, sorry.
That's fine. No, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Julia. So the Board of Directors have had the agenda, as have the Class B members. Everybody's had a copy of the agenda before the meeting and hopefully had a chance to have a look at it. But we can see we've done the roll call and validated the quorum. We have the agenda, the minutes, the results year to date, our direction, report on the 2022 financial statements. We have the nomination and elections process. Then we have an introduction to the ISTAP board, recognition of outgoing members, an open discussion, and a close. So I move to accept the agenda. Are there any further discussion about the agenda as stands?
I second.
So I haven't got to that part yet, Jay, but thank you. So any further discussion on the agenda items? So if there aren't any, I motion to approve the 2023 AGM agenda.
I'll second it, Sam.
Thank you, Karen. Any further discussion? No? So thank you, Julia. We can accept that.
You have to vote.
Oh, yes, sorry. Thank you, Kathy. So can, as a show of hands, either by the reactions in the bottom of the screen or by a show of hand by holding your hand up, could we all keep the hands up? I should have said that Troy is our time, or Julie is our timekeeper, and Kathy Harley is our counter. So Kathy will let us know. So either hands up what's it called, reaction, or keep your hand up on screen so that we can see it for those voting members.
It's unanimous, motion carried.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, sorry for just going through. So we've reviewed the agenda and adopted it. We now need to have a look at the draft minutes, which again was sent out prior to the meeting. They were available on the website as well to our Class B members, as was the ISTAP annual President's Report. So if I stop sharing, sorry, Julia, if I can ask you to just bring the minutes of the meeting up.
Sorry, just pulling them up.
That's okay. I know, it's don't worry. Thank you, Julia. So these are the minutes of the 31st of May 2022. I say everybody's had a chance to have a look at them. So Julia's just scrolling through slowly, just for any comments on accuracy of the minutes as you're being shown.
Can I make a motion to approve the meeting?
Not yet, Jayesh. We're just still scrolling through them at the moment. So I just want to make sure everybody has a chance just to make sure they've had a look and are happy that they are accurate. Okay, so I think that's, thank you, Julia. So I'd like to move to accept the minutes. Any further discussion? If not, then I motion to approve the May 2022 AGM minutes. So if I could have a seconder.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jayesh. And now we just need to vote to approve those. So again, if we could have the same process, your hands up, emoticon reaction, or pop your hand up on screen. And if you can keep those up just for Kathy to do the counting.
Okay, unanimous, motion carried.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so we move back to, so I have the pleasure in just presenting to you some of the results for the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel for the period 2022-23. I think we've been very proud of our growth and our internationalization as an organization. We've certainly shown that we can grow from strength to strength. And I think our position as a truly international organization is reflected not only in the profile of our board of directors, but also you as the Class B members. We've increased our membership to over 4,000 members of ISTAP with a truly international global spread. So thank you for continuing to support our work. Our internationalisation is also supported in terms of our international official partners, which I'll talk about shortly as well. But again, we've seen growth in that area, which we're very proud of. Our financial position has been strengthened by our prudent use of the budget. Last year, we were talking to you about how the coronavirus pandemic had affected perhaps our ability to travel, but again, that did strengthen our financial position. And even though we are starting, the world's opening up now, and we're starting to travel to conferences and so forth, our budget is still strong, which again, we will show you shortly. And we're also very pleased to report that we have sustained support from our corporate partners. So particularly thank you to Monliquor as a corporate partner, and also welcome to Essity, who we've signed a memorandum of agreement with for a 3-year period. So we're very proud to be working with some key corporate partners in this area. So some of our other achievements in the last 12-month period have been reflected here. So we have a number of measures of impact and esteem. Last year, we were talking to you about the forthcoming special issue of the Journal of Wound Management, which was happening in July of last year. It did happen, and it was very successful. And that was the Commission's special issue on skin tears with Dimitri Beekman and myself as guest editors. So there were 9 original articles on skin tears in that journal, and UMA reported that it has had the highest number of downloads for a journal issue in 2022. So we're very proud of that achievement, and I'd really like to thank all the contributors to that special issue, which made it such a success. I think it's going to be a key publication in the area for many years to come. And talking about sort of the European Wound Management, again, we're pleased to report that we're going to be working with them on a project moving forwards for the next perhaps 1 to 2 years. And this will be looking at the experience of individuals living with a skin tear. So there is work going on to collaborate with UMA for that. We're also very pleased to report our ISTAP achievements. So we had a nomination in the Most Progressive Society Award category, and we achieved a silver certificate for that. So that's something we were very proud to achieve, having previously had an award in 2016 for the Most Progressive Society. I think what we've been able to show in the last 5 years is that we have grown again. You're probably aware that ISTAP has work streams, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the work streams and the work that's been going on. So we have our collaboration and partnerships work stream, which Professor Karen Uzi chairs. And this partnership and collaborations work stream are really looking at global networking. So in order to strengthen this, we've built on our very successful programme of international partner agreements. I'm just highlighting here some of the new international partner agreements for 2022-23. And so we have the Commonwealth Wound Care Resource Alliance, the Turkish Wound Ostomy Continence Nurses Association. Most recently, or the 2 most recently, are the Wound Ostomy and Continence Nurses Society and the Association for the Advancement of Wound Care. So you can see that ISTAP are working with some key international global partners here, and moving forwards we'll be looking at how we can collaborate on certain projects and support the World Without Skin Tears Day as well. And that's not forgetting our existing partners as well, our international partners that you can see listed here. And we're certainly undertaking some collaborative links with the Society of Tissue Viability, specifically more recently, and others. So you can see there that our international partners do represent a truly international panel, and we're very pleased to be supporting their work, as are they of our work. In terms of education, so the education work stream has been chaired by Kim LeBlanc, and we've had a busy year of conferences, albeit some of them have been virtual. We are now able to start attending conferences face to face. So at the UMA conference last year, we had a skin tear focus session in Paris. And we've also had a number of presentations for the Commonwealth Wound Care Resource Association, the Italian conference, also for Chile, and for Wounds UK. We also had representation by Kim at the IIWG conference in Abu Dhabi. And then most recently, there were a number of us attending the UMA conference in Milan. So these have been very successful at sharing the work of the International Skin Tear Advisory Panel and has given us an opportunity to raise awareness. In terms of education, we're also continue to write for publication, with most recently a manuscript for Nursing Standard, which is currently in press and due to be published very shortly. The other major event that's taken place very recently was at the end of April of this year, and that was our Global World Without Skin Tears Day. And hopefully many of you had a chance to attend that. And it truly was a very important event. We had a global panel of experts representing a breadth of skin integrity considerations. So you can see what we tried to reflect in this event was that it's not just about skin tears, it's about skin health, skin integrity also. So we had 500 people attended live on the day, and we had over 1,900 registered to watch the event as catch up on demand. And we're already planning underway for April 2024. So please watch this space for the date for next year. But I'd like to thank all the contributors to that event, which made it such a success. And I'd also like to thank the education workstream again for their hard work in putting together what was really a very important piece of work. The other work stream is the Global Community Engagement work stream, which I chair. And we've continued to have to support work to develop our website, which hopefully you will have seen. We've increased the resources available to our members as well. And we continue to have successful presence on social media platforms, including Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We always welcome contributions from our members, so please do contact us if you're doing any work to do with skin tears, whether that be publishing, presenting, research. We'd love to hear about that because we can help to share that information via our website, but also via our social media platforms. The Global Community Engagement Workstream also have a quarterly communique, which hopefully you're all signed up to receive. And in the last communique was in March 2023, we did undertake an ISTAP members survey. So we will be looking at the results of that hopefully soon, and we will let you know the outcome and the results of that survey. Our other work stream is the research and implementation work stream. So we continue to investigate ideas to develop and validate a search strategy for skin tears was one of the main pieces of work that will be undertaken by the work stream. And the work stream are also exploring their role in implementation and dissemination of evidence more widely. And that work stream is chaired by Dr. Ray Samariwo. So thank you to Ray and the group for supporting research and evidence implementation. One of the other things that's new for 2022-23 was that we introduced an International Skin Tear Advisory Panel President's Award. And this was really to recognise the impact of others. And you may have already know from our website and our communiques that Sharon Baranowski was the recipient of our first award. So that award is to recognise a member or former member who's made an outstanding contribution to the mission, vision and values of ISTAP. Somebody who's advanced the evidence base for the prevention, assessment and management of skin tears and has demonstrated exceptional advocacy and leadership, as well as contributing to the ISTAP organisation. So there was no doubt that Sharon met all of those criteria. And Sharon, if you are logged into this meeting, thank you very much. I think your vision all those years ago stays with us today, and we're We're very pleased that you were our award recipient for last year. So as a summary of our 2022-23 activities, I think I've hopefully shown you that ISTAP continues to be very successful. We're growing in our membership year on year, and that's in terms of our Class B members, but also our international partners and our corporate partners as well. We maintain our due diligence with regards to working ethically as a not-for-profit group. And I should mention at this point, which I haven't mentioned before, that ISTAP is a sister society of the Nurses Specialised in Wounds, Ostomy, Continence Canada. So again, thank you to them for their support over the last year. As I mentioned, we've secured additional corporate funding to support our work over the next 3 years, and we continue to seek out new opportunities to build on a sustainable model of finance. And our organisational structure through NSWOC supports the work of ISTAP and our strategic plan, and is helping us to realise our vision, mission and values. So what's next for ISTAP? The next few slides present to you what we hope to achieve over the next 3 years, or what we're striving to do. So we want to enhance our patient advocacy work through our collaboration with the European Wound Management Association, but also with our members, our international partners, as well as our corporate partners. So really making sure that the patient and their carers have a voice, which is something we've been striving to do, but that still remains very high on our strategic plan. As part of that, we want to develop educational resources for patients and carers to support prevention of skin tears. So please keep a lookout for information about how you can get involved with that. And we want to strengthen our alliances with our international partners and identify opportunities for further collaboration. And equally, we want to develop our corporate industry partnerships to facilitate tripartite working. So that's ISTAP in its entirety, that's with our international partners, as well as with all our members, together with industry. We also want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of you, our members, by seeking feedback. So I'd already mentioned that we've undertaken a survey, which we hope to present the results of that soon. And your feedback and insights are really important to us because we want to ensure that we're meeting your needs. We want to identify opportunities for member engagement with ISTAP work streams. So, for example, that might be being a contributor to the review of best practice recommendations and providing feedback for us. So again, we will be notifying you of any opportunities to do that. And we also want to identify gaps in our membership and ensure we reflect a truly interprofessional organisation with representations from all our allied healthcare professionals. So we will be seeking out where we can find gaps potentially, and perhaps approaching people to try and encourage them to join. But for any of you joined in today who are working within a multidisciplinary interprofessional team, then please do encourage all of your colleagues to become to become members with us, so that we get those partnerships working effectively. One other area that the President-elect Karanuzi and I have been talking about is wanting to build a student arm of ISTAP. You know, we want to now build our next generation of future healthcare practitioners with a specific interest in skin tears. Some of us are getting a little bit older and we won't be here forever, unfortunately. So we need to start building that community moving forwards. So we'd like to see student voice as an integral aspect of International Skin Tear Advisory Panel as well. So for those of you working in a position where you work with any healthcare students, then again, please do encourage them to become members. They can do, there's no reason why they can't at the moment, but we will be trying to engage them in the work that we do. So that may well be through the promotion of implementation of evidence and quality improvements in clinical practice, So many students will have to undertake projects and theses and research. And so perhaps ISTAP will be able to support them in doing that, or at least offer suggestions for where they may fill the gaps in the evidence base. And of course, if we can do that, then we can support team working and build capacity and succession planning, as I mentioned. So it's a bit of a call to students for today as well. So please do join us. We also want to continue the work on enhancing the evidence base for the prevention, assessment and management of skin tears. So we want to do that by examining cost effectiveness to inform clinical practice. And so Professor Karanouzi and the Research and Evidence Implementation Workstream will be working on some of that area for the next year or so. And we also want to continue development of the evidence base itself. So we will be working on looking at where the gaps in the evidence base are and looking towards perhaps updating our recommendation documents, as well as expanding on those. Something else that's very important to us is about embracing diversity inclusion across all that we do. And we're certainly looking to see that not only all of our resources, our website, our documents, our presentations do reflect that diversity inclusion. And there's some exciting work going on across the globe with the Indigenous populations, which our board of directors are working with. So we hope to be able to update you on some of those areas soon. And we also want to continue our successful research and evidence dissemination strategies. So I showed you the example of the Journal of Wound Management as a special issue. We'll be looking at how else we can disseminate evidence on the prevention, assessment and management of skin tears. So at this point, I'd like to hand over to Kim LeBlanc as the Treasurer. I'll continue to move the slides on as directed by Kim, but Kim, if you'd like to report on the 2022 audited financial statements.
Thanks, Sam, and welcome everyone to our AMM. So well, I get to give you the report on the 2022 audited financial statements, if I can have the next slide. So as you can see here, we actually are in very good financial shape. We can see that if we look in the revenue category, from January 1st to November 9th, 2022, we had cash carried forward from 2021. We had $25,523.29 Canadian dollars. I would like to stress that all these funds are in Canadian dollars. We had revenue sponsorships, both deferred from Molnica and OmniMed, for 13,666.69 and 12,759 for a total of $51,948.98 Canadian. And if we looked at our current balance from January 1st to December 31st, 2023 in Canadian dollars, after our expenses that were removed, we had $34,645.82. If you look on the right-hand side, you can see where our expenses came from. The majority of our expenses did go to MailChimp, Zoom webinar maintenance, etc. As you probably have seen over the years, we do the majority of our work virtually, so this is very important to us. So that was $1,575. We had our website and member registration license for $1,350. Sending meeting representation to UMA and WOCN was $808.68. Marketing and booth material was $1,095. Outgoing board gifts was $200. Exchange and bank charges. Sadly, I hate paying banks, but sadly, we did have $242.68. But we were able to keep those charges quite as low as possible. The postage was only for the outgoing board gifts, which was $88. And then really the next big bulk, and this is something that's very important to us, is translation, which was $5,701.39 and $6,242.42 for a total of $17,303.16 Canadian. Next slide. So if we look at our projected revenue and expenses, well, we have January 1st through to May 23rd. Our current account balance carried forward was $34,645.82 Canadian. If we're looking at revenue, we have 12,000 euros that came in May from Essity. Thank you, Essity. So with the conversion of €1 equals 1.4589 Canadian, we come to 17,506.8 Canadian dollars. For expenses, we have the NSWAC management fee, which is the 12% of the 12,000 euros, which is 1,200 euros. Or approximately $750 Canadian. Our current account balance is $50,401.96. So we are in very good financial shape moving into the second half of 2023. So if we can go back a slide. So now that I would like to motion that we accept the financial statement as reported. So I will need a seconder.
Sorry, I second that, Julia Harris.
Thank you, Julia. Any discussion? Okay, if we can vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Yep, majority, motion carried.
Thank you. So Sam, I'll hand this back over to you. Just as I finish this up, I would like to thank everybody for all the work everyone's done for ISTAP. Over the past 13 years, this will be my last report for ISTAP. So I would just like to thank everybody for taking the dream that we had 13 years ago and bringing it to this reality. So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And I keep saying she's not allowed to go, but thank you, Kim, for still doing such a good job as treasurer as well. So thank you. All right, just move on now. I'll just get the slides to advance. Okay, so we now move on to the ISTAP nominations and elections for May 2023. So just to explain the process of the nominations, a call goes out, So the nominations and elections process follows the ISTAP bylaws and the Canada Not-for-Profit Act. So we are under strict regulations for how these elections and nominations are carried out. It's a democratic process, so all eligible members have an opportunity to run for board director positions and executive positions if they meet the eligibility criteria. And the nominations and elections process is set up so that 1/2 of the board changes each year. So we never have a whole change over. It's usually 1/2 for succession and also sustainability of the board. So it's ensured that it's staggered to support that consistency. So the open positions for this year were communicated to all ISTAP members starting March 20th, 2023. And those were advertised on the ISTAP website, as well as a call went out via eBlast. An email communication with the closing date of the 20th of April also was posted. So the nominating committee, which is Kathy Harley, Dr. J.S. Shah and myself, completed due diligence for the nominations. We ensured that all nominees met the eligibility criteria required by the ISTAP bylaws. And for this election, all candidates were acclaimed except for the treasurer position, where an election vote is required, which we'll come on to shortly. And also a regional director for Latin America Portuguese is also open for nominations. Again, we'll come back to how we're going to manage that shortly. So the election for the ISTAP treasurer, there were 2 nominees, Rosemary Hill and Stephen Smet. The board of directors received all the nominees' paperwork, including the nominees' curriculum vitae, CVs or resumes to review. So everybody's had those to review before this meeting. So we now need to move to a vote for the treasurer position. So I move, Kathy, you can come in if I'm not doing this quite in the right order. But I move to a vote which for the treasurer's position. For the board of directors, but with voting rights, you will need to message Kathy Harley directly by a private message using the chat function within this meeting. So please do that as a private message to Kathy Harley. Kathy Harley will then confirm that she's had all the board of directors votes. And then I will receive a message to say me the vote is closed. And I will then announce the result.
Sorry, Sam, I just see in the chat, just to be clear, it's the Class A voting members only that are sending a message to Kathy
Yes.
Harley.
Yes, so the board of directors, sorry, I didn't make that clear. So it's Class A voting members only. So it's just a little pause in proceedings while we're doing the voting and counting. And Kathy, you just let me know when you have everything.
Yes. They're coming in. There's still a few to come in.
So I'm not sure if there's any new boards of directors joined the meeting.
Yeah, Sam, Emmy has just joined.
Okay, so how many votes are we expecting, Julia, altogether for the Class
Hello,
A?
Sam. I'm also just here now.
Oh, hi, Stephen. Okay, you're not allowed to vote.
No, I don't.
But welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You joined at the important moment.
There should now be 13 voting members minus Stephen, who cannot be a part of this specific vote.
So is that 12 in total, Troy? Is that what you're saying?
That would be right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had 9 people vote, so we still have some people to vote.
I think Emmy might have joined just after you explained the process as well, if you just want to quickly reiterate that.
Hi, Emmy, welcome. So we're just voting for the position of treasurer. There were 2 nominees, Rosemary Hill and Stephen Smet. All the boards, Class A voting members, boards of directors had all the paperwork prior to this meeting. So in order to vote, if you haven't already done so for the Class A boards of directors that are here, please message Kathy Harley using the chat function, but message her directly as a private message to Kathy.
We are missing, oh, there's Emmy, okay. And we're missing Maria. Is Maria on?
I don't think Maria Clara was here, Kathy, unless she's
Yeah,
joined.
Maria has joined now.
Yeah, she's,
So do I need to explain what we're doing? Has Maria only just joined?
No, Maria has been on for a little while there. Maria, if
Okay.
there's anything you want us to do to help explain as well, we can go over it again.
So Maria Clara, if you are there, we're just voting. Using the chat function, you can choose Kathy Harley from the drop-down menu, and you just need to message Kathy with your election, your nomination, your vote for either Rosemary Hill or Stephen Smet for the position of treasurer.
And the other person we're missing is Salvacon Cruz.
Okay, so Salva, are you still there? If you can use the chat function. I'm just messaging Salva in the chat just to see, just to remind her.
Okay, we have Salvacon and we just need Maria.
Maria, are you able to unmute your microphone? Don't only to let us know that you can hear us okay. Obviously, don't give your vote verbally. But Maria, Clara, can you hear us okay?
I've received Maria's vote. I'll forward it to you, Kathy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Oh.
for bearing with us, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
It's always great when you have competition for a position. I like
You obviously did such a good job at selling the position, Kim.
must be it. It's the best position on the board because Kathy Harley holds your hand throughout the whole process.
Okay, so
I'm
Kathy's just
I'm
doing
just
the counting.
okay. Okay, Sam, I'm just sending it through to you right now.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kathy. So I'm pleased to announce that based on the vote of 12 members of the Class A voting members, boards of directors who are eligible to vote, we had the 12 votes in. And I'm pleased to announce that Stephen Smet has won the vote of the majority with 8 out of 12 votes. So well done, Stephen. And thank you, Rosemary, for your nomination. So I motion, Kathy, just remind me the words I use now.
Yeah, and so
Sorry.
now that this election's taken place, we move forward to the full election slate. So Stephen's name will be
Yeah.
added to the election slate.
Okay, so you can see I'll just need to do this live, so bear with me a minute.
Thank you very much, everyone, by the way. Very pleased and happy. And
Thank
looking
you,
forward
Stephen.
to work together.
Congratulations, Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, it's nothing like trying to juggle a screen and typing live, is there? The appointment and elections of officers, directors, you can see there that I have just added Stephen Smet to the election slate. We do have the open position for the regional director for Latin America Portuguese, and under the bylaws of the of ISTAP, we are allowed to take nominations from the floor today for that position if there is anyone who would like to be considered for the position of the regional director for Latin America Brazil. So that's Portuguese, so that is open.
Can I make a nomination from the floor?
Kim, yes.
I'd like to nominate Vera Santos is nominated. I'm not sure if she'd be willing to take this on or not, but I would like to nominate Vera Santos. I believe
Thank-
she's on the call.
Yeah, she's asked to speak.
Okay, are we allowed to do that then, Kathy?
Yes, yes. you can.
Okay,
Okay.
so if
I'll
we allow,
enable-
thank you, Troy, if you could enable Vera to speak. Welcome, Vera. Thank you for being here.
Okay, Vera, you should now be able to say a few words.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Vera, thank
Oh.
you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon for you. Thank you very much for this nomination. I was really just reading Sam's email. I'm not sure why I didn't read before, Sam. I'm very proud about that, but we didn't discuss my name inside the So Best. And may I have some seconds or some
Oh,
minutes to discuss
course.
this inside our association? I was really thinking about to have another one of my students because she's young and she's very involved with the skin tears issue. So I thought I talked this morning to Sonia, to our Dr. Sonia Dantas, our president, so vice president, to have her confirmation about the name of Cynthia Bandeira. She's almost finishing her master degree, and she's very involved since her undergraduate course in skincare studies. We have published some articles, and well, I will discuss with Sonia about Cynthia's name, if you allow me, or my name. Of course, I would very be proud to return to this so productive and productive panel. I learned a lot when I attended, when I was the Latin American regional director during my previous terms. And of course, I would be very proud to do that. But I would like to have this, if you allow me to have this decision inside my association. Okay? Is it possible?
Of course, Vera, we're not going to put you on the spot today, but you would be very, very welcome back to ISTAP.
Thank you very much.
But yes, I appreciate also that you would like to perhaps consider whether, that it should be somebody else. So we will put the call for nominations out using the usual process. And we can have a discussion at another point as well, Vera. But thank you for speaking.
Thank you. I apologize for our absence in this name before, but I really lost your previous message. So sorry for that.
No problem at all, Vera. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so so the open position has not been filled at the moment, so that will be awaiting further news. So I now need to, sorry, you can see that these slides, I'm just showing you that I hadn't prepared these slides ahead of time with anyone's name to be fair and open. So I'm just going to make sure I now put Stephen's name on the next slide. I think it's, let me see. I think it's actually, sorry, it's a picture on my slide. So let me just quickly, nothing like having to do things live, is there? I'm just going to have to do a little bit of editing of one slide to copy something across, and I will be with you. So I'm just having a little bit of an issue with my slide here. I just need to
Sam, if it makes a difference, what you could do is just do the motion and with the addition of Stephen Smet as treasurer.
Okay, I think I've got it now, Kathy. We just go back. So this is the motion. So you can see there, So I, Sam Holloway, move to approve the election slate, as written.
I'll second it. Kim LeBlanc.
Thank you, Kim. And then we need to vote, don't we, on the election slate. So if we can all vote by putting your hands up or putting the reaction button or physical hands up. And again, Kathy, if you do the counting.
And I think Stephen's allowed to vote now, correct?
Correct.
Okay, there we are. Sorry, Stephen, didn't realize you're allowed to vote.
I just need Emmy. Emmy there, okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's majority, motion carried.
Thank you, Kathy. So apologies that Stephen's name's not on here, but rather than delaying all the people again, I will add your name, Stephen. But congratulations to the ISTAP board for 22-23. Welcome to you all. And I say we will we'll tell you about the news on the Latin America position in due course. So although Kim has mentioned she is stepping down as treasurer, we're not letting her go that easily. So Kim has agreed to stay on in a consultancy role, helping to support our work. And I will come on to thank yous in a bit more detail in a minute, but also Professor Dimitri Beekman steps down as the immediate past president. So again, thank you to Dimitri, but Dimitri has also agreed to stay on in a consultancy role to support the work that we're doing. And I'm really grateful, and I think all of the boards of directors are for that, because there's a wealth of expertise there that we do not want to lose. So with that, recognition of our outgoing board members, I've already mentioned Dimitri and Kim, so they won't be on the board, but they'll still be working with us, so thank you for that. I'd also like to thank Dr. Laura Teague, who stepped down in October. I wish Laura all the best, and also Mary Clara, who stepped down for the Latin America Portuguese position. Thank you all for your input to your and our work for ISTAP. Now, we couldn't go without saying a very special thank you, and I got more and more teary as the day went on when I was putting these slides together, to be honest. But I say Kim's not leaving totally yet. She can't, she's not allowed to, but she will be staying on to support our work. But reflecting back, you know, certainly from my own experience of somebody, so if I point at my screen here, this is the very first meeting of the ISTAP consensus panel, as we were in 2011 in Orlando International Airport, where we first met. And I was meeting with people I'd never met before, people I'd heard of from their publications. So I felt very esteemed to be within that group. And over the years, the work has just grown and grown. And Kim does talk about it, about being her baby, even though she's got a new baby now, which is a baby puppy, Max. ISTAP is one of her other babies. So I've mentioned Sharon already, but Sharon and Kim obviously put a huge amount of work into establishing ISTAP, and have never given up their motivation and their diligent work to make ISTAP what it is today. Kim, as the first president of ISTAP, received the Journal of Wound Care Awards in 2016 for the most progressive society. She also managed to get Dimitri involved as well. So again, that was somebody that's been helped us hugely. And here we all are presenting at one of the SAWC conferences in Las Vegas. So Kim, from all of us, we want to wish you all the best. You're still going to be immensely busy, we know. You're moving from the president-elect role for the CNA, the Canadian Nurse Association, to take up that position. And I think everybody's very, very proud of you, and proud that you're still able to be linked to ISTAP. So thank you, Kim. Big special thank you from me as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Sam. You're going to make me cry.
No, don't. Well, don't you start, because I will. But you're not going. You can't. So.
But I would like to say how proud I am of all of us for what we've done over the last 13 years. And, you know, Sharon and I were just talking the other day that we never thought this dream we had. We were actually at a conference sitting over a cup of coffee, and it exploded into what we currently have today. And, you know, the work that everyone has done has been phenomenal. And I'm just so excited to see where it goes next. Every year, every time we bring in more people, it just expands and gets better and better. And it's, I don't know about you, Sam, but I think it's exceeded the expectations that we had back in 2011.
Absolutely. And, you know, we can see ourselves growing still. And I, you know, as the current president, I know I've grown from all the expertise within the group as well. So, you know, I guess it's a call to anybody out there thinking of being involved with any association, that what it can bring to you in terms of your own growth. So, you know, again, thank you. But that's probably enough now, because we will be all blubbing with tissues, won't we? But thank you, Kim. So now it's time for open discussion. So it's anybody's opportunity who's attending as a member that wants to ask any questions. You'd be welcome to put a question in the chat for us, or a comment. Anything you'd like us to consider, please feel that you can contribute. If it's something you want to talk to us about, then we probably can. We have got plenty of time. We can ask for your microphone to be switched on so that you can speak. So yeah, open discussion. And of course, that's to the boards of directors as well, if anybody has any points they'd like to make. So I've just seen a message from Marie Clara in the chat. So thank you, Marie Clara, for your words. And we absolutely understand that you've got your doctorate to undertake, and that's a big undertaking. So on behalf of all of ISTAP boards of directors and the executive board, we'd like to wish you the best of luck with your doctorate. And remember, the door's never closed in ISTAP. So if you feel you want to come back in the future, then please do contact us. So thank you, Marie Clara.
Sam, can I just make a comment?
Of course, Karen, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. As president-elect, a bit like yourself, Sam, I'm learning loads, but what's been really interesting is part of my day job is teaching, and I've noticed that many of the students now are presenting assignments and posters on skin tears, which we haven't seen before, and it's been really very interesting, and looking not just at adult patients, but also those people who are being cared for in mental health hospitals or have mental health issues. So I really do think that the work that everybody's done since Kim started all this is really having an impact for people that before just thought it's just a skin test, we don't have to worry about it.
Thanks, Karen. And that sort of fits nicely with the work we're trying to do with engaging students more as well, isn't it? So yeah, it's good to see that starting to filter through. And I'd echo that I'm starting to see students, medical students as well, undertaking projects in this area. So I think hopefully we'll see a lot more growth in the years to come. Thank you, Karen.
Echoing that, I think one of my proudest moments was when we started, like from ISTAP, was when we started to see master's and doctoral students doing their research dissertations on skin tears and the growth that's happened as a result of that. And I think that, you know, we can't not talk about Dimitri Bickman and the skin, I can never say it, but the Ghent skin group, whatever you're calling it, you know, and the amount of research that's come out of Dimitri's research lab has just been astronomical as well. So for me, from ISTAP, thinking that maybe we had just a small little part in terms of sparking the interest is huge. And we look at the explosion in literature around skin tears since ISTAP was formed. I think that all of us can be very proud.
Thank you, Kim. So there's a message from Rachel Fletcher to you. So a huge thank you to Kim for everything. As a TVN, the work of ISTAP and Kim have been my bread and butter for many years. So well done. And thank you on behalf of patients everywhere too. And so Linda, thank you. Linda Benskin. I don't know where you're from. I presented a lot of work on skin tears back in 2008 that seems to have been completely forgotten and evaluated. So perhaps Linda, if you want to get in touch with us by emailing myself, I'll put my email address up in a minute, that we can come back to and certainly pick up a discussion with you. So thank you. Okay, other than that, there don't seem to be any other discussion points. So, so I'd like to thank everybody. So the closing words I'd like to leave you with are that, you know, do help us spread the message that it's not just a skin tear. And that's what we've been trying to do for many years. So I move to close the 2023 AGM. And I'd like to motion to close the meeting. So could I have a seconder?
I'll make a second.
Jenny Prentice.
Yep. Thank you, Jenny. And Jay came in at that point as well. Is there any further discussion? If not, then I will close the meeting and thank you everybody for attending.
We have to vote. We just have to have.
Sorry, Carrie.
Okay.
It's that vote. I always forget. Could we vote to take the vote to close the meeting then, please? But can I just ask the Class A boards of directors, after the meeting does close, could you go to the Zoom link that I sent out for the meeting, just so we can have a very quick catch up before we actually finish completely for the recess for the summer. So, but back to the vote, Kathy. So we're voting to close the May 2023 AGM meeting.
So Sam, you're talking about the link that was in the invitation you sent out, not the one that Troy sent.
Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. Because this meeting will completely close, but we just need a little catch up everybody after. So yeah.
Okay, so we have majority, meeting is motions carried and meeting is closed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody. And thank you to all our members for joining.